Alright, my lovers, it's MJ from Ultra Love TV. Happy to be here with you guys. Let's crack on with the reading, shall we? So I am an intuitive and I run an online brand called Ultra Love, guided by my heart. This is for entertainment, ultimately, and if you be resonating, feel free to comment, follow, and of course you can book a private reading. So the card that was interesting. Okay, so you'll be feeling a lot better once you release a burden, a long-standing burden energetically, right? So you're doing a lot of inner work. Hence, if you are resonating, you'll be resonating with this idea of like, I have to let this go now. I have to let... 10 of Wands is ultimately an energy of like taking on way too much, whether it's other people's stuff, whether it's too much work, whether it's just like carrying this shit from the past, basically, right? Like all of our past burdens, all the things that happened to us, be like, and like it weighs on us, you know, it makes it harder to move forward. And so ultimately we often have these inner perspective shifts which help us to just release the burden, and quite miraculously and instantaneously we can feel a whole lot better, because you're essentially dropping this burden. You're going within dropping this burden because what's calling you is you feeling really emotionally stable regardless of the circumstances, because the major arcana that's central here is the Hanged Man. So there is this period of suspension, which I suspect once you're in that good feeling state, things will begin to open up, as in, you honestly can't make it up. You will be guided forward. So Chariot energy. So this is a major movement forward eventually. And I know that there's I think like a square or something like that with Mars. So, you know, depending again on our own personal natal chart, these astrological or planetary alignments will often catalyze insight, momentous change ultimately in our lives. And here's a bit of the crux, is that it's not some impulsive, irrational, just like I'm going to go in a 180 direction just because I feel like it on a whim. This is energy, again, for those of you who resonate here, you've been doing inner work. You know, you've been projecting things into the field, visioning, healing, So this Hanged Man, this period of respite is ultimately a period of illumination. And then as you step into that feeling of just, you're on it, basically. Like regardless of what people think of you, regardless of what things didn't necessarily go to plan, like deep down inside yourself, you know you're good, you know you got this sort of thing, right? And that's a huge energy for these kinds of communities now, you know, more conscious, aligned communities that want to be vibrating more love and harmony and compassion in their own life, thus in the world, right? So trust in this time, right? Trust your intuition, trust you're being guided. The Chariot is very much, to me, like they've got this protection, this cloak that surrounds the Chariot, which has stars on it. So that's, to me, guided by the cosmos, right? The highest order, the most expansive divine order, which we can see in our solar system and galaxies and multiverse and blah blah, and yet in our personal existence here on Earth, there's the earthly plane that we're all like sharing in this experience. So the Chariot is obviously, you're connected to the earth. There's balance, guidance, direction, potentially obstacles, and yet when you're anchored in your center, guided by a balanced divine energy, connected by the cosmos, i.e. like what's the highest potential for everybody in this community, right? Everybody in this, some of you could be guided away from your community for work, for whatever, right? But the Chariot to me is a very divine energy. With the Hanged Man there, it's like, get your illumination, and then yeah, off you go into this sort of next phase of your journey, for sure. Yeah, big change. But again, this isn't impulsive cray. This is like what you know. It's like a vow you've made to yourself of, I deserve this, or I'm going after this, or I'm going to do this, whatever it is for you. It's like it's written in the stars, my lovers. just crack on with it, isn't it? Anywho, my guys, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day, and wishing you loads of love. And I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow for another daily message. Holla, holla, shazam, you guys. Happy Tuesday. Peace out.